Hey everyone, Morning Coffee back again with my very first Diablo 4 build guide. Today I'm going to be focusing on the Sorceress. The build I have to show to you is incredibly easy to play, but it's also equally strong through the entirety of the beta campaign, and it revolves completely around the Hydra for damage. So to start off, the gear for the build actually isn't super important, which is actually really nice. You'll see that I'm wearing a lot of legendaries that I've come across as I've been playing the game. Most of them are just defensive things. Like this one actually helps me do more damage to unstoppable enemies, which is very nice for like the bosses at the end of dungeons and stuff. This one here, I gain a barrier when damaging an elite. I've got gloves here that I deal more damage if I have barriers, so these two kind of work nicely together. I've got a helmet. The helmet's not even active, the power on it, because it's the same one that's on my pants. So it's not, they don't stack, by the way, if you didn't know that. So this is just a legendary that had the best stats for me at the time. This one's actually pretty nice. It can reset my cooldown when I take damage for my defensive, which I'm currently using Flame Shield, and I'll get into that in a minute. And again, another defensive, just I can get an immune bubble for 4.5 seconds on my neck. But it's just stuff that I've picked up. You're going to pick up quite a few legendaries as you play through the game. None of them other than this one on my gloves and this one on my boots are actually even damage related. And to be honest with you, they're not super important anyway. The only time I ever have barrier is when I first engage an elite. Other than that, I have no way of actually generating it with this build. So they're not super important. So basically, whatever the best items you come across as you play, you should be able to make this work for the build. That's not important. So let's talk a little bit about what is important for the build. So let's go into the skill tree first. I'm running all fire. For leveling, I just used Firebolt for leveling with enhanced Firebolt, allowing us to pierce through enemies. That gives us a bit of an AoE. It's not directly an AoE, but because we're piercing and we're setting things on fire, we're able to use Firebolt to clear packs. I eventually pick up Glinting Firebolt at some point just to help increase our single target burn damage a little bit. I do get Fireball as soon as I can get Fireball, and I actually go ahead and get the Greater Fireball right away as well. By going to Greater Fireball here, we get to deal 10% of whatever burn damage we have inflicted on the mob as extra damage with our Fireball. So basically we're going to be on like single target, we're stacking up a couple of Firebolts when we're leveling, and then we're able to cast our Fireball, and the Fireball will deal damage, extra damage based on our burn. So for defensive abilities, I like to use Flame Shield. That's the one that I've liked to use personally. I kind of leaned into the fire spec for this. The thing I really like about Flame Shield is that, oh, hold on, we're getting attacked here. Someone brought this over to us. All right, back to what I was saying. Flame Shield, if you get stunned or CC'd in any sort of way, you can actually cast Flame Shield and get out of the CC. So if I'm stunned, I'm about to be swarmed by a group of monsters, it looks like I'm for sure dead, I pop Flame Shield, I'm instantly out of the CC. Instead of getting swarmed, now I'm doing burn area damage to whatever's around me. And if you pick up these nodes that I picked up here, you can actually have Flame Shield heal you for 50% of your missing life if you need it. So it's just, this is the defensive build that I like to play with. You could also run like Ice Armor. I just like the get out of CC immunity of it. I run Teleport. I don't have any supporting nodes for that yet. It's just our mobility skill, just 1 point in that for mobility. Now, the big one that we're running, like I said, is Hydra. I maxed out Hydra, and I have one item that gives me +1 to conjuration skills, so I'm actually at 6 out of 5 with our Hydra rank. So getting your Hydra up is the most important thing. For the talent nodes that go with it, you get 1 extra head when you're healthy, and healthy, if you don't know, is just being above 80% health. So as long as you're somewhere near full health, you should be getting an extra head on your Hydra. And then I choose the one Hydra burns enemies for additional 12% of its base damage over 6 seconds. It's kind of, this one's a little bit irrelevant for like clearing trash and stuff, because most trash is going to die in 1 or 2 hits, and the burn damage isn't really going to be effective. But on single target, the longer the fight lasts, the closer this becomes to actually just being 12% bonus damage. Down here, I'm picking up Inner Flames. I like Inner Flames. It's giving us 3% increased damage when we're healthy for our Pyromancy skills, which is like every skill we're using for damage. And then Crippling Flames, this is just kind of like a little nice node. Gives us a chance to immobilize enemies for 2 seconds when we're, dealing our Pyromancy damage. And it's doubled when we're healthy, and our whole build is trying to stay healthy anyway. We've got a lot of bonuses that go with healthy. So it's just kind of like a nice little node to keep things off of you, get, some stuff rooted, and it's just, I kind of like it. It's a nice little playthrough for the node, but it's not really, if you wanted more damage, you could do stacking Inner Flames would be more damage. I do have 1 point in Firewall, but that's from gear, and I don't actually use Firewall when I'm playing the game. So what really makes the build come together, though, you're just casting your Hydra and it's doing all your damage, but the reason that it does such good damage actually comes from your enchantment. So if you don't know, at level 15, sorcerers get the ability to unlock their enchantment node. And so you'll come to this area right where I'm at as level 15 sorceress, and there'll be a guy here that gives you a quest. I've already done the quest, so he's not there on my map. He will send you over to this dungeon right here, the Lost Archives. It will be scaled to your level. So right now I'm level 22, so it's scaled to level 22 for me, but it'll be scaled to whatever level you are at the time. And you will then be able to go in there, get the quest item for him. You come back out, you talk to him. They'll have you walk in this little hut right here. It's just going through a little quest line. And as soon as you're done that quest line, you'll unlock your enchantment slot. So what really makes this build shine is enchantment Fireball. And I don't know for sure if this is a bug, or if it's intended, or what the deal is, but enchantment Fireball also applies to your Hydra's fireballs. So when they shoot their fireballs, they actually will benefit from the Fireball enchantment, which is when you kill an enemy, they explode in a fireball for 50% of its damage. So if we walk over here real quick, I'm just going to do a quick live demonstration. I'll try and add some more footage as well in the video. But when he explodes, there's a little circle around him. Someone did this quest for us, so we get some free loot. Let's see if we can find something else real quick. There'll be little explosions, little circles that normally aren't there. When you kill stuff with a fireball, this little explosion circle around him, not normally there. But when you add enchantment Fireball, it adds that to the Hydra. So all you gotta do is drop your Hydra. When it kills stuff, they explode and deal AoE damage around them. And it just becomes a one-button build. When you group up a bunch of enemies together, you drop your Hydra. It kills 1 or 2 of those enemies. They explode. Those enemies then kill 1 or 2 more enemies, which also explode, and it just ends up exploding the whole pack, and you're left with only the elites usually, and then your Hydras are already good single target, and they will just help clean it up. So, like I said, it's pretty easy to play. You can literally just drop your Hydras. You can also cast, like, hard cast fireballs as well to add to the DPS if you've got mana to spare. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've had so much fun. Let me know if you guys play it, if you enjoy it, if you want to see more content like this, like, subscribe to the video. I'm going to be trying to pump out as much content as I can over the weekend and into next week, and then into next weekend's beta as well. So I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will catch you all later.